emergency. The National Guard is here. So I don't think it's a good idea for me to go there, frankly. And I don't know what to do. I've emailed Stephen Tenney of the Keene Police Department. I'm sorry. I have emailed Stephen Tenney of the Keene Police Department. He's one of the cops who came there. He's one of the cops who saved my ass when I had to pull my gun in Keene. And I emailed him and I said, I don't know what to do. I need guidance. I want to be peaceful. I want to be law-abiding, okay?
Did nobody watch you ever watch the Dave Chappelle skit where keeping it real goes wrong? So you just heard from Christopher Cantwell, who, I don't know, maybe he's a nice guy, but he was in a Vice documentary. He gave Vice unprecedented access to him, where he was leading a tiki torch and saying Jews will not replace us and all this kind of stuff. And now they're all crying. They're all crying and they're freaking out, Now, there are two sides to this story. There really are. There's the truth, and then there's the socially constructed reality. So what I found quite interesting are my DMs have been blowing up from alt-right people being like, Cernovich, you know that we had a permit. You know that we had a permit and that there was an unlawful order to disperse it. And I'm like, yeah, you guys called me cucks for 9 months, dude. I warned everybody about the Nazi shit. I told everybody where the Nazi stuff ends. This is where it ends. Well, this is the beginning of the end. No. Prison. These guys are going to prison. This is all going to get people into prison. I told you where. I said the beginning is the Nazi salute and the end is prison. And I've warned you, everybody, repeatedly, you can't have Nazi salutes anywhere near anything that you do. So, but they couldn't just stay out of my lane. They've been trolling me for months. And then they come back and go, Cernovich, why don't you tell the truth about what really happened? Because I got other things to do, man. You know how much political capital I burned defending the free speech rights of these idiots? When the press club banned Spencer from his event, I was like, hey, this is wrong. Man, I burned a lot of political capital trying to defend free speech. And all these idiots are going to do is throw up Nazi salutes, do KKK, torch marches, and be complete and total fools. The ACLU defended their free speech rights. Anybody who actually defended their free speech rights has burned a lot of political capital. There's no upside anymore. And the line has been broken now. And I don't think people, because I've watched this play out before. This played out with real social dynamics. A lot of people don't remember this, but I do. So there was a real social dynamics thing that went around, and these guys got banned from their web host, rack server. They got banned from their email subscriber. We've watched this all play out. We've watched it all play out before, and we know where it ends. So right now, Cloudflare won't support the Daily Stormer. They can't get a domain registrar, so now they have a .ru registrar. Mike, Mr. Cernovich, will the CIA kill Spencer to radicalize the alt-right? Are you kidding me? Spencer's the most useful asset the CIA has. Why would the CIA or Deep State want to kill kill Richard Spencer? He does great work for them every day. Richard is so bad at what he does that he has to be Deep State. You can't consistently lose. You can't consistently lose as often as the alt-right does, and have anybody conclude it's anything other than a Deep State psyop. They're too good at losing. The alt-right are too good at losing. So, for example, that Cantwell guy, he did a special with Vice where he showed all of his guns. I'm flabbergasted, really. How does that advance? How does that get you the ball downfield? How does that advance your message? Pulling out a bunch of guns, playing the role that the media wants you to play. Your job is to play the role the media doesn't want you to play. So here, let me see if I can find a special where Cantwell shows everybody all of his guns. Which I can't believe he does this. Let me see if I can find the clip. He shows people. He goes into his hotel and he pulls out 5 guns and a knife. Here we go. What is wrong with you guys? Seriously. Are you all complete bozos desperate for fame? So here's the guy, Chris Cville.
LC9, also 9mm. And there's a knife. Well, I actually have another AK in that bag over there. You get lose track of your fucking guns, huh? I'd say it was worth it. We knew that we were going to meet a lot of resistance. The fact that nobody on our side died, I'd go ahead and call that.
So there, that's him, and then here he is crying.
Hey, that was the whole entire point of this, and I'm watching CNN talk about this as violent white nationalist protests.
How dare they talk about violent white national protests when this guy's like pulling out all of his guns? Look at all my guns. Look how cool I am.
Caltech P3AT.
I'm so cool.
380 ACP.
I'm a cool fucking dude. Look at me. I'm a cool guy. Look at my guns. I'm a cool guy. Yeah, bros. Nobody can mess with me. And now
CNN talk about this as violent white nationalist protests. We have done everything in our power to keep this peaceful.
So he's showing all his guns to Vice, showing everybody, hey, look at all my guns. Look at how cool I am. I got guns. I got 5 guns. I got an AK. I forgot I had an AK because I have so many. And then now he's on there. CNN is violent. CNN is. What do they do? What is wrong with you people? They're either deep state or if this is their. I hope they're deep state. The alternative is worse. The alternative is worse. If they're not deep state, then this is who they really are. Blabbering people who show all their guns to Vice. Look at all, have I ever showed you guys a gun? Have I ever shown you a periscope of a gun? Look at me, periscope of a gun. Right? I have a lot of guns. But I'm not going to show that to Vice because that creates the narrative. So again, talk about juxtaposition. All these guns here. We'll just watch it again. Just to show you. These guys, they're either deep state. I hope they're deep state.
All right, so I came pretty well prepared for this thing today. Caltech P3AT, 380 ACP, Glock 19, 9mm, Ruger LC9, also 9mm.
All right, here's the same guy.
Law-abiding, okay? That was the whole entire point of this. And I'm watching CNN talk about this as violent white nationalist protests. We have done everything in our power to keep this peaceful, I know we talk a lot of shit on the internet, right? And there's a knife. Well, I actually have another AK in that bag over there. You get lose track of your fucking guns, huh? I'd say it was worth it. We knew that we were going to meet a lot of resistance. The fact that...
So, unbelievable, right? So, now people are saying Cantwell was acting in the second video. It isn't real. I love the spin. I love the spin. I love the spin from all these people. The second video, it's like, well, we're just acting, everything else. It's a fascinating time. So, but my question is, why are you showing your guns to Vice? Why are you busting out all your guns and showing them to a leading SJW public? Can somebody give me a good reason to show all of your guns to Vice? I would love to hear it because I know there's a lot of people. Cernovich, Kukovich. Okay, tell me one good reason to show all of your guns to a Vice person when they're doing a documentary to discredit you. I just want to hear one good reason why, when Vice is filming a documentary to discredit you and make you look like a violent extremist movement, you're going to pull out all your guns and show them on the bed and then pull out your knife and then say, oh, I have an AK too. Can't even keep track of them all. I have so many guns. Can anybody tell? I would love to hear an explanation for that. I would love to hear how that is going to advance your cause. I would love to hear how you're going to recruit more white people with that scene, right? Ask yourself, hey, I really want to recruit white people to the movement. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to show a Vice reporter a bunch of guns that I have and a knife and my AKs and show them how cool we are because we're the cool guys. But it's getting real. It's getting real for these people now. And what is happening is they're now all being banned from social media. Cernovich not in Charlottesville because I was afraid. Cernovich. Come on, guys. You got to go a little edgier than that. I've been hearing that one since 3rd grade. Mike Cernovich. Come on. You know, Kukovich is at least a little bit clever, right? So the reason I wasn't there was because I knew that all this was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen. I knew things were going to go real wrong, real fast, and I wasn't even going to cover it as a journalist. Because if I'd covered it as a journalist, people would have taken my picture with those people. Richard Spencer tried to get me to take a picture with him once. Right? Richard tried to get me to take a picture with him once. It's like, no, what is wrong with you? I had an after party, and he showed up, and then my friend Jack Murphy was going to beat Richard up, but Rosie Gray from The Atlantic was there, and I was like, I don't want this guy to get beat up at my party because then it'll be about violence and everything else. So I told my friend Jack, like, hey, leave this kid alone. We got to go. In hindsight, that was the wrong decision. I should have just let Jack steamroll him, and it would have been fun and everything. But I was trying to keep the peace. We had a big event called the Deplorable, and I wanted it to go. They all want their picture with me. That's the whole point. They all beg me to come to their events. They beg me to come to their rallies. Their biggest rally, 500 people, they get tens of millions of dollars in free media attention. That is actually the real story that the media is not talking about. Do you know how many people I've had the Deplorable? I've had bigger events than their biggest event. With Jeff, we did the Deplorable. Way more people. We sold out. We sold over 1,000 tickets. And we could have sold 2,500 tickets. The biggest event they can do, and we had no media publicity. We didn't have the media promoting us. If I had the media promoting my events, oh my God, I'd fill Madison Square Garden. If the media promoted me the way they promote David Duke and Richard Spencer, I would sell out Madison Square Garden easily. But they don't do that. They don't do that. They deliberately promote Deep State David Duke and running Richard Spencer, because those are the people they can tie to Trump to make Trump look bad. So it's a media psyop. And it's actually irresponsible because they're making people be afraid by making them think that there are all these Nazis out there when there really aren't. The people should actually be inspired by the Charlottesville attendance. People are like, oh, they're going to cut that out of context, like they do with everything else. People should be inspired by the poor turnout. Let me tell you why before you're triggered. The fact that every media publication in the world promoted their event and they could only get 500 people at their shitty little event tells you that there aren't that many of them. You could find 500 people who believe anything in America. You could find 500 Black Panthers who want to murder white people. You could find, there are 500 people in ISIS. You could hold a rally to destroy Israel and get more than 500 people. So with that Flat Earth Society, exactly, with worldwide saturated media coverage, they get 500 people to show up, and that's what the fake news media doesn't want to talk. That's the best they can do. The best thing. Again, here, I'll show you. Deplorable. Deplorable. We sold over 1,000 tickets. Those are paid, by the way. This event they had was free. So the Deplorable was an inaugural event organized by MAGA 3X, which was at the time a pop-up event I'd created with Jeff DZ, and Jack Posobiec was involved in that too. And yeah, over 1,000 people. You can read it. Google it. Over 1,000 people showed, and it was paid tickets. So they can do a free event with saturated media coverage, and they're going to get less than a wedding. Right. Like somebody put up. Their weddings, I've been to weddings with more than 500 people. College football rally tailgates. It's a marginal French movement, but they get saturated wall-to-wall coverage. No, the coverage happened before it. You're definitely either mistaken or lying. There was a massive amount of media coverage before the event. It was saturated media coverage. Yeah, there's more people watching my Periscope right now that I sent out with one tweet. I can draw more people into a Periscope about nothing than they can draw in an event using all of their marketing might and organizing for months and getting wall-to-wall media coverage and sending out massive amounts of press releases. 500. That's what they can do. That's really all they can do. So to me, that should be make people optimistic to realize that there really aren't that many of them. That's the best they can do. No one knew who David Duke or Richard Spencer was. Yeah, the media makes them famous. The media makes them famous because the media wants them to use them as a bludgeon against Trump. That's why here, give me one good reason why David Duke or running Richard Spencer say that they're pro-Trump. Why? Somebody tell me why David Duke and Richard Spencer continually drop Trump's name. Right? Why can't they just be their own name? Why do they have to say, oh, Trump supporter, Trump this, Trump that? Because they're sabotaging him. Right. They're sabotaging him, and the media is going to continually give them attention as long as they continue to be pro-Trump. Again, Richard Spencer has never written a book. Richard Spencer doesn't have any ideas. He's a fame whore who can glam onto the Trump scene, and the media is going to give him attention. That's why when they talk about who's responsible for Charlottesville, the murders there, the media is just as responsible as the alt-right is. The media and the Nazis work hand in hand. The media and the Nazis work hand in hand to create chaos and carnage because the media wants to use them against Trump. That's really that simple. But the media doesn't want to take responsibility and yada yada. Yeah, it's just the way it is. But now you see why I've stayed far away from all those people. And I still get jammed up with them. It'll be a year before it takes. That's the whole problem, is I was friendly with everybody, and I've learned that that's a mistake. Guilt by association is real. These people will come to my events and try to get a picture taken with me so that they can use that picture for their deep state operatives and pass those pictures around. So they'll even Photoshop it. There's allegedly one of Posobiec and Richard. It looks like a Photoshop picture to me. So they'll, Millennial Matt Photoshopped him with Donald Trump. So what they do is, for me, I've taken thousands of selfies with people. If people come up to me out in the street or an event and everything, it's like, hey, I want to take my picture with you. I'm not going to be like, no, you can't take a picture with me. Because 99 out of 100 times it's going to be a fan. But but then the risk is that these people, these Nazi people, want their picture taken with me so that they can do a deep state op on me. And then say, oh my God, but the difference is here, what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you the difference. And this is not a threat, so I'm going to word it very carefully because I'm on Periscope. So I'm not making a threat to anybody. Just so you know, just so the Nazi boys don't cry like Cantwell was crying in there, okay? If you try to set me up with one of your little pictures and you get close enough that I feel like you might be able to hit me, then I will defend myself. So I want to be very clear about that. If you're one of these little Nazi boys and you get into my personal space and you get too close, then I'm going to assume that you're trying to be physically violent against me, and I will use reasonable self-defense to initiate it. So don't come near me. Don't come near me. Stay out of my personal space. Stay far away from it, because the minute you're close enough that I think there's a threat, I'm going to initiate self-defense and do what I have to do to handle my business, okay? Just make sure of that. Cernovich, you will get your ass whooped. Okay, New Age Republic, come find me. You guys never come find me. Come say that to me in person. Show up, right? come show up, tough guy. You'll be crying like the guys throwing their guns around Vice, you know, showing all their Vice people how cool they are, how tough they are. Show up. Have you guys seen Jack Murphy? Do you know the kind of people I travel with? Do you know the kind of people I roll with? Right? Come look at Jack Murphy. He's about 240. You can see, you know, when I'm out and about who I'm with. And if people want to come out and they start trouble and initiate violence, then they're going to get self-defense. No question about that. There's definitely no question about that. You're bigger than me, but you're anonymous, buddy. You're anonymous. Tough guy. I'm not anonymous. My events, people know where to find me. I'm very easy to find. I'm very easy to find. Very public figure. I don't hide where I am or what I'm doing. So if you want to come find me, tough guy, if you want to come find me, I'm very easy to find. And if you and your friends want to find me and my friends, and you want to get like that, that would actually be good media for me. So I hope one of these people, I hope David Duke gets in my face. Because I would take that, I hope he does. Because the optics of me punching him in the face would be incredible. So that's what these guys got to realize, Millennial Matt and all these people, these little weasels. If they come close to me, then they can cry, the media is going to uncover us fairly, Cernovich is violent. I'm okay with that narrative, bro. I'm okay with you guys crying. I'm okay with you Nazi boys crying that Cernovich is a violent person. Just like you cried that CNN and Antifa, they won't stop, they won't quit. Oh my God, you're such victims. I'm okay with the optics of me being the violent person because a little Nazi boy gets in my face. So like I said, Jack Murphy was going to beat up Richard at my after party. I should have let him do it. I was too worried about how that narrative would have taken hold. And that was my only mistake of this year, is I should have just let it happen. It would have made the break it would have made the break a lot cleaner. So for the break between the new right and the alt-right to happen, there will need to be some kind of scuffle. There will definitely be some kind of scuffle, and that scuffle will be very good. It'll make the optics of it very clean, very clean. So my advice to the Nazi boys would be, just don't come to my events. Because if you come to my event and you get in my face, I'm going to assume that you're going to attack me, and I will defend myself. So the best advice that I have for you would be, just don't come to my event. Stay far, far away from me. Because if you do and you get in my face, I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to assume that you're looking for trouble, and I will definitely defend myself. And I have people there who will defend themselves too. And you guys cried about pepper spray, right? Crying about the pepper spray. Oh, you got pepper sprayed. Oh, poor babies. You know, I got pepper sprayed. You can find a video of me being pepper sprayed. You know what I did when I got pepper sprayed? I go, fuck, I got pepper sprayed. Man. You can find the video. You can watch me when I got pepper sprayed. I go, That's what I did. These guys dropped to their knees, give me milk. These guys dropped to their knees. Oh my God, I've been pepper sprayed. Give me milk. I need more milk. Oh my God, I'm so hurt. My whole face was burned up, guys. I got all burned up from the pepper. Here, I'll show you the picture. That's the whole thing, is you now have like proof on who talks the walk and who walks the walk. Right here, I'll show you. I'll show you. So this is what my face looked like after being pepper sprayed. This is all. That was. Well, I guess I have a white light, so you can kind of side view. So my whole face was red. And then here's a video. Here's a video of me getting pepper sprayed. I'll just show you. All right, so I'll show you. I'll show you right now. This is what happens when I get pepper sprayed. I got pepper sprayed. Fuck. Yeah, I was at the front of the line while doing the journalism. So that's what happens to me. But I get pepper sprayed all down my face, burning my face. I kind of winced, like, that hurt. I was by myself too. I wasn't even with anybody. I was by myself and just like, man, that hurts. That's what these guys dropped to their knees crying. They act like it was napalm. They're on their knees crying, begging for milk. They're so tough. Oh my God, these tough guys with all their guns, showing their, showing Vice how many guns. They're so tough. So tough, such tough guys. They get pepper sprayed and they're begging and crying for help. They're begging and crying for help. So here's the thing. This is what you'll learn about life. Keeping it real can go real wrong. Throwing up Nazi salutes is going to go wrong 100% of the time. And this is why I don't even try to be a thug anymore. You don't see me trying to talk like these people talk. They talk like thugs. They come in here threatening me and everything. When do you see me threaten people like Brian Stelter or Jack Taper? Jack Taper might have a gun. That's the thing about people who are that's the thing about people who have actually done thug things. You never know who's got a gun. You never know. You never know who's got a knife. So you don't talk like the kind of people you will be the first to be gassed. Those people I know have never done anything real. Because if you've ever done anything real, you have no idea if that other guy's got a gun. You have no idea if that guy's got a knife. You have no idea if that guy's trained has got some BJJ. You have no idea if that guy his wife left him, took the kids, and he has nothing to lose, so he has no problem with killing you. You have no idea if that guy across from you has nothing to lose. That's why I'm all about being polite to people. Anybody who's ever come up to it in real life with me knows I'm Mr. Polite. Why? Because I've been there, done that. I've been on both ends. I've had people underestimate me, and it ended very bad for them. And I've underestimated people, and it ended up a difficult situation for me as well. So that's what you learn when you actually have been out there and done things, is you don't run your mouth. You actually want to be polite with people. Because that guy across from you might have nothing to lose. That guy, again, his wife could have left him. He might have lost his job, and he's just looking for some reason. He might just completely be a rage machine, have a knife. You have no idea. So you should be nice to people. Come in here, I'm going to gash you. I don't talk like that. I've never talked like that. Even when I would troll people and call them cucks, I would never threaten their physical health. Because that guy you never know who that guy knows, too. I think that's another thing that people don't understand is you have no idea who that other guy knows. Because the kind of people I know people, very legal people. I also know very illegal people. I know so people have no idea. So if I came into your Periscope and said, I'm gonna gash you or kill you, who knows who you know? Because that's the way it works. If you're actually, like there's that scene in Goodfellas where he said, I know that it had to be cops because if it were mobsters, you'd already be dead. Right? You don't talk shit. You just handle your business. You just do what you got to do. And the people who come in talking shit, I know they've never actually done anything because that's not how people. It's not how like me. I'm a very nice, friendly guy. Right? Why? Because I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh yeah, I love too how they keep circulating that thing that I offered Antifa, an Antifa satirical account. $5,000 to punch Richard. I mean, get out of here. Oh, Jack Murphy's in here. Did I or did I not ask you, Jack, to not beat up Richard at the after party of the Deplorable during Inauguration Week? So there's this screen cap going around from an Antifa account, and they're trying to say that I offered them $5,000 to punch Richard. It's actually the opposite's true. I asked a good friend of mine, don't beat this guy up because, Rosie Gray from the Atlantic was, snooping around or looking around, and I didn't really want that to be the story of the night. I wanted the story of the night to be big event, big success. I didn't want it to be, you were the only thing between me and him. You asked me to stand down. Exactly. Because I looked over and I saw Rosie and I go, man, no, I don't want this to be the story of it. So the idea that I would offer $5,000, and it was to a parody account too. Do you think I don't know that those Beverly Hills Antifa accounts aren't parody? Those those Antifa accounts are all parody accounts. Official Antifa, it's all satire, right? So you have to think, one, that I fell for a satirical account. Two, that I would put a crime in writing, that a lawyer who's done criminal defense work would put a crime in writing, soliciting a felony in writing. And three, that I would need anybody to smack Richard, like I couldn't do it myself. Right? So if you believe that, there are multiple failures in your life. Definitely multiple failings there. I have a lot of people want to beat up Richard for free that I've asked not to, but I'm no longer asking them not to. So if Richard ever shows up to anything that I'm at, the people that I've asked to not beat him up, I'm no longer. The stand-down order has been rescinded. I'm not asking anybody to beat up those guys. I'm not asking anybody to beat them up. But if people who are friends with me want to, then the previous stand-down order that I had in effect, I'm just saying, hey man, whatever happens, man, I got nothing to do with it either way. If they want to fight, they can fight. If they don't want to fight, they don't got to fight. Nothing to do with me, though. Right. Yeah, all those guys showed up at our last party after we left, so that was funny, too. So, a lot of people, and we're getting a little gossipy, but whatever. I'm going to hit the gym soon. I'm relaxing. So we had, last time I was in town, I was with Jack and a couple other hard hitters. We held an event. A couple of Richard's little henchmen were there. And whatever. Halverstrand was one of them. There's this guy, Halverstrand. So at the Bull Moose party, I remembered him because at the Bull Moose party, things got a little bit, a little touchy, and it was fine. No hard feelings. So then Jack and I left, and then his little henchmen tell Richard we left, and then Richard comes in going, oh, where's Cernovich at? So then Millennial Matt, baked Alaska, and Richard show up, where's Cernovich? Like I didn't know Halverstrand was there for 2 hours. Right? Halverstrand was there the whole night. They wait for me to leave, so me and Jack are safe and sound, gone far away. And my other friend who is Army Ranger Battalion, Afghanistan vet, and then another guy who, is not somebody you wants to mess with. Then they're like, where's Cernovich at? Man, we're here. No, you waited till I left, and now you want to show up like a tough guy. And you think that people are actually going to fall for that. When it's public where I am, people are posting pictures where I am, your little henchmen are there. And then to show up, well, yeah, we're Cernovich. No, you're not looking for me. I can 100% guarantee these guys, especially Millennial Matt, crying about the death threats he's getting. Notorious troll. So poor little Millennial Matt. So they're all cake. They're all cake. They're all crying. They were so tough. So tough. Now their death threats aren't cool, man. You mean putting Laura Loomer and gas chamber memes and saying you're going to kill people? You mean all those death threats you've been making on people for months and months and months? Oh, it ain't cool. Oh, poor guys. I'm so sorry. Your lives are over. You've been doxxed. Your names are out there. You're famous for being Nazis. That's what you're famous for, being Nazis. That's your brand. That's your brand. Your brand is you are a Nazi. And you're famous. My God. Just think this through for a minute. Just think this thing. Okay. I'm famous largely, I just talk for a living. I write books and do films and everything, yes. I'm famous for kind of bad stuff and good stuff. So I would call my fame on net a positive, right? So we would say like Joe Rogan is just famous for happiness, right? Mike Cernovich is famous for a little bit of happiness, a little bit of mean stuff. And I'm recognized everywhere. Everywhere I go, I'm recognized. Every time I leave the house, I'm recognized, okay? These guys now, Millennial Matt, Baked Alaska, Richard, everybody, they're now famous for being Nazis. That's what they're known for. 15 million people watched that Vice documentary on Chris Cantwell, the guy who had all the guns. 15 million people watched it on Vice, and 2 million watched it on YouTube. These people are world famous now. And you can say, well, they're not really, I don't think they are Nazis, to be honest. I don't think Baked Alaska's a Nazi. But it doesn't matter. This is what I've been trying to tell these morons. It doesn't matter what you are. It matters what people think you are. This is the nature of socially constructed reality. If people think you're a Nazi, it doesn't matter if you're not a Nazi. That reality is socially constructed, and now you're Nazi to them. And if 1 million people think you're a Nazi, it only takes a couple of them to decide they need to punch a Nazi or kill a Nazi or do worse. So what you have to do is you have to retake your narrative and retake your brand. I think Baked Alaska has to become an anti-racist advocate. The only way, it's too late for Richard. Richard, it's too late. Millennial Matt, it's too late. Baked Alaska, he can get out of this now. Baked Alaska, he's got to do, if I were him, here's what I would do. His campaign would be, I had to go blind to finally see. And then Baked Alaska could say, oh, I was kind of aimless, and I got in with this crew, and I didn't really know what I was getting into, and then I got acid in my eye, and now I'm halfway blind in my eye, and I'm just all about love and peace. So he could pull that off, and he better, because he's got a very distinct look. That's the problem, too. If you have a distinct look, like Baked Alaska, and you're famous, but you're famous for being a Nazi, whether you are a Nazi doesn't matter, you are now a target. There's a big target on your back. And it's not like he can just hide. What's he going to do? Leave. So what he has to do is, the only way out for him is he has to go full on anti and just say, you know, I got caught up. I was too deep. I thought we were just having fun. I thought we were making jokes. I was a young guy. Then I got blinded and I realized how things are. And this is terrible. And I really regret everything I did. If he does that, he'll be fine. He can pull out of this. The rest of those guys it's pretty much over for them. The rest of those guys are there's no redemption arc. I'm already on my redemption arc, in case you haven't figured it out. You can see how people who've known me for years become a cuck. You say, well, if it's become a cuck or be murdered for being a Nazi, you're going to have to make that decision. Here's right now the choice. And here's the choice for people like me and people like everybody else, right? The choice is, you can worry about nasty, filthy, dirty people calling you a cock. You can be afraid. Millennial Matt, who is crying on YouTube about death threats and hiding, Millennial Matt, who is now in hiding because he's a little biatch, might call you a cuck on Twitter. Or you might get murdered in real life. So, what's the choice here? Do you want little Millennial Matt, who's crying about the death threats and hiding and running afraid? He might call you a cuck. And people like him might call you a cuck. Oh no. Or you might get murdered in real life by people who think you're a Nazi. Those are the choices, guys. That's your choice. That is the aftermath of Charlottesville. The aftermath of Charlottesville is that you have to now choose between little dorks like Millennial Matt calling you a cuck, even though he's in hiding now, or getting killed in real life by people who think you're a Nazi. That's the reality. Now, I don't have to make that choice. My choice has always been, that's why I got rid of the Nazi stuff right away. Right when I saw the Nazi stuff happened. And I'm still working to do this. Still not easy. And I own it too. There's a reason people call me alt-right still, even though it's not true. Hey man, I rolled with the wrong crowd. I didn't know what they were about, and I can blah, 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 pass the buck. End of the day, I made my choices, and I'm living with them. End of the day is that it's going to take a long time for me to create a new narrative, to reconstruct my own social reality, to reconstruct the story of Mike Cernovich, to create the Act 3, the story arc, the mythos of Mike Cernovich. It's going to take a lot of work. And it's my fault. I didn't know these people were fucking idiots like that. I thought they just wanted to talk about why white people are dying of the opiate crisis and single mothers and how to help them and low birth rate and single parenting and deadbeat dads and how men are ruined in divorce courts and is there such a thing as white identity and stuff. I thought people wanted to have adult conversations. I thought people just wanted to be adults and talk about what does it mean to be white. What does it mean to be white in a majority country and then you become a minority? And is there such a thing as white identity? I thought you could just have these conversations, very adult conversations. And I realized, no, you can't. So, whatever. I'm going to be tarred with that for a while, but I'm recreating. Yeah, I thought that. I sincerely did because I have these conversations. I have these conversations with Jewish friends of mine. Do you think that there's a universal Jewish identity? There's Orthodox Jews who are very observant. There are people who are Orthodox Jews who claim that liberal Jews aren't actual Jews. There are people who claim that if Jewishness can only be passed down from your mom, so if your dad is a Jew, there's all kinds of conversation about identity with the Jewish community. There's all kinds of conversation within the black community, the Muslim community. What is a real Muslim? So we could have the conversation. What does it mean to be white? Is there such a thing? There's a way to have that conversation, but you're not going to have that conversation with Millennial Matt, who is now in hiding. Millennial Matt used to call in my show and call me a cock and everything else. It's funny, all these guys who would call into my show and call me cocks, they're the ones hiding out now. Told you. Just because I was 9 months ahead of where this was going to happen. I told you, so all those guys, Cerno Cock, Kajkovic and everything, there aren't even that many in the comments today. There are a few. So there are even a few people. The comments though should, for a Periscope like this, the comments should be way worse. So even the trolls, are dealing with the aftermath of all this, because this Periscope should be overridden with just cuck Jew, this, that, and others. And we're just getting like a few, like 1 in 5 maybe. It should be 9 in 10. It should be nasty, mean comments. But that's showing you how it shifted. And that's showing you how bad the aftermath is. That's showing you where we're headed. That's showing you the future and the trends. So here's your choices now. Here are your choices now. Is Baked Alaska, he's got to come out as an anti-racist. Baked Alaska, he needs to just spread love and disavow all of this stuff. He can be saved. I could save him. I won't. I tried to help Tim. I DM'd Tim when he filmed that Uber video of him and Aesop on the cab. Let me see if I can find it. So when Tim, this is when I knew Tim was just a lost soul. So when Tim would always DM me his tweets. And he DM'd me, kicked out of my Uber for being racist. I was literally sleeping in the back seat. So Tim thought it would be a good idea to film him and his people mocking a sympathetic black female Uber driver. I don't know, man. I'm speechless. They thought that'd be a good idea. Hey, this black woman driver is kicking us out of the Uber because we're going to a white nationalist rally. We're going to film her and we're going to be the victims. So here's what I texted him directly. I DM'd him. Tim, what is wrong with you? You'll be banned from Uber next. You have a great heart, but your love for drama is going to have long-term implications on your life. This is August 11th. Here's what I told him. Here, I'll show you the exact DM. So Tim thought he was going to show me how he was a victim, kicked out of my Uber for being, see, as you can see, they're always asking me for help. Can you help? So all these guys that call me a cuck, they're always DMing me for help. I just ignore them. Kicked out of my Uber. So I go, Tim, what is wrong with you? You'll be banned from Uber next. You have a great heart, but your love for drama is going to have long-term implications on you. Here he is. Dude, I did nothing wrong. Funny you would make me to be the bad guy. You're defending an anti-Trump leftist who kicked us out of an Uber for no reason. But okay, Mike, do your thing. Okay, Mike, do your thing, Mike. Do your thing. So this is August 11th, and now he might be blind. You have a great heart, but your love for drama is going to have long-term implications on your life. Look at the date, and then next thing you know, the guy's going blind. So I DM'd him one last time trying to save the kid. DM'd him, I said, your love for drama is going to have long-term... I mean, you want to talk about Prophet Cernovich. August 11th, I said, your love of drama is going to have long-term implications on your life. And then what happens? He's going blind, and then people are like, well, he's going blind, Cernovich. And I'm like, yeah, I told him. Right? I told this fucking kid that. I said your love for drama is going to have long-term implications on your life. I literally warned him. I was trying to help him get out. I've been trying to help these people get out. That's the untold story about me and my role in all of this. I've been telling him, Tim, dude, knock this shit off, dude. I've told him repeatedly. And I even was like, dude, I think Tim sincerely has a good heart. I honestly think Tim, he's just a lost soul. And he's so desperate to be liked and to belong in something, and he has no identity, that he's just going to go with anybody who will accept him. So, but it doesn't matter if you got a good heart. If you hang out with the wrong crowd, you're going to get caught up. It's called being caught up. So yes, I messaged him. Dude, your love for drama is going to have long-term implications on your life. And now he's potentially going to go blind. And people are asking, like, it's surprising to me. I wanted people to get out. So just, it's not too late for anybody. Well, for a couple people it is. Millennial Matt, he's going to need to shave his mustache, grow his hair out a little bit, and just lay low for a couple months. And he'll be okay. He'll never be good, but he'll be fine. He won't get killed. Tim is going to have to just say, I got caught up. This is a bad thing. It's time to move on. Spread love. And that's what Tim's going to have to do. That's the only way he's going to get out of this. But those of you who are caught up in it, I'm telling you, this is going to end in prison. Again, you can read that DM I posted. You know, people are going, oh, it's private, whatever. I don't care. These guys DM me constantly asking me for help. But they never thank me in public. They're always saying, well, you tweet this out. It's wrong. You know, we're being censored and everything. But then in private, they're nice to me. And then in public, they call me a cuck. Right? Which is very revealing about the whole sort of alt-right movement. In private, they're DMing me, hey, man, you know, we got this court order. We have a permit. You know, our rights are being violated. We get our story out. You know, this and that happened. And then they're like, oh, you cuck, Cernovich. You're pathetic. But yeah, in private, they're real nice. I got text messages from all those guys. Jason Kessler tried to get a job from me. Jason Kessler tried to get a job from me. I told him don't ever email me again. This was months ago. And I told everybody, stay far away from this guy. I said, this guy's trouble. Yeah, Kessler wanted to work for Cernovich Media. And I said, no, stay away from me. You're a bad person. I don't want anything to do with you. Definitely don't want anything to do with you. So what is it now? Well, it isn't too late. You retarded F. Robert E. Lee. You don't even have an identity, bro. Robert E. Lee, 7-11. You retarded F-U-C-K. We are fighting what you believe in. You don't even have an identity, bro. You don't even have a picture. You're using the heroism of as another man as your identity, you cuck. You're ashamed of who you are. Your whole identity is Robert E. Lee? Are you Robert E. Lee? Are you descended from Robert E. Lee? Right? You're using the image of Robert E. Lee because you have no story yourself. You have no identity for yourself. You're fighting real hard. Yeah, you're fighting real hard by using the images of somebody else that you're not even related to. Right? Sorry, bro. That's the reality, dude. That's the reality. You're nothing and you're a nobody. I would lose my job. I would lose my job if I gave my identity. And he spelled it loose, of course. Right, so you don't even have, you're a nobody, dude. You don't even exist. But you're talking about how you fight for what you believe in. Well, we saw what fighting for what you believe in, we saw what fighting for what you believe in where it ends. Right? You know where it ends? It's going to end in you guys getting murdered by Antifa. It's going to end by people going into prison. It ends with you having no financial resources. It ends with you having no job. It ends with you can't even use PayPal. You can't even use Cloudflare. You can't even have a domain. Do you know how far the line you have to cross to get banned by Cloudflare? You are now, the alt-right is now on par with child pornography. That is now what the alt-right is on par with, child pornography. The only people who ever get banned from Cloudflare are literal terrorists, literal ISIS, or child pornographers. That is where people now view the alt-right. They now view you as and you know what people think about child pornographers? If you kill the child pornographer, or if the police refused to defend a child pornographer, and the child pornographer said the police didn't do their job, is anybody going to care about that? If the think about the optics and how your message is being received right now. If you're on the alt-right and the Nazi right, is when you go, the police didn't do their jobs, we had a court order. Well, that would be like you having a child pornography fair and saying there's a child pornography meetup and the police would not protect the child pornographers. That's what you're thought of now. That's what the 1488 crowd, that's your perception now in the general public. You're on par with child pornographers and pedophiles. Now, you can say that isn't fair. You can say that isn't nice. You can say it isn't. I don't really care. Doesn't mess, dude. Now, somebody goes, we saw you talking to Baked Alaska. Yeah, I talked to Baked Alaska at Politicon. Baked Alaska, I'll talk to anybody who's civil. Yeah, Baked Alaska came up to me at Politicon and was like, hey, dude, you know, blah, 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 blah. What am I going to be like, don't talk to me in public? If I'm in public and people want to talk to me, that's fine. People can talk to me in public. Don't get in my personal space. Don't invade. You know, if you get close enough to hit me, then that's a really different thing. But yeah, I talk to Tim. I'll still talk to. If Tim calls me today and says, Mike, I want out, I'll take his call. If I get a text message from Tim and he goes, man, dude, I really screwed up, I want out, I'll be the first one there. I'll be like, all right, dude, you got to keep your distance from me. I'm not going to like hire you or anything, but I will help you get out, and I will do my best to try to help you find a way forward in a way that's productive to you and society. I would in a second. And yeah, I would definitely do that in a second, because he needs help and he needs to get out. And all of you people, I feel like one of those people who are like, they were in a gang and they're like trying to get people out of the gang or whatever. It's kind of how I feel right now. I feel like I'm talking to high school kids. But in a way, it is the alt-right is alienated men. And I do know how to talk to that audience. But yeah, the people, I'm telling you, this ends in I had somebody message me, and I've been getting a lot of DMs like this. Here, I'll read you the DM, and let me see here what I got here. Okay, he goes, this is like a love letter. This is constructive criticism. Blah, blah, blah. Take the red pill. You are afraid of what the alt-right will do to your brand. But you need to realize they're bigger than you or anybody realizes. No, they're not, bro. The alt-right isn't a big thing. You got 500 people to a rally that had international insight. So no, you're not. I know how big you are. I sell tickets for a living, right? I'm literally a marketer. That's how I make money, selling books, selling seminar tickets. I can analyze your web traffic. and can tell you how big you are, okay? So if you have 500 people show up to your national rally, and you have worldwide media attention, then you're not bigger than I know. You're smaller than the media wants people to believe. Yeah, 200 of those guys were the Oath Keepers anyway. So he goes on and 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 on. So then here's all I said. Hope your brother avoids prison, and that's where this is all heading. Good luck to you and yours, right? So that's what I told him. Is I said, hope your brother avoids prison, and that's where all this is heading. Good luck to you. So I'm warning you guys. So that's all I'm saying. It's going to happen. You're going to be in prison. Don't know to tell you. You're going to get caught up. You're going to be caught up, and you're going to go to prison. And this is where it all ends. It's going to end with people getting killed, murders happening, and people going to federal penitentiary, because I heard a lot of the chats from the alt-right have been leaked to me. And I know for a fact one of the persons in the chat was a snitch. I can't find the audio right now, but in one of the audios, it's actually a woman. This is how they get you. So I'll tell you the psyop they're going to run, but if you're a dumb young man, you're not going to listen to me anyway because you know better than me. What do I know? That's just the nature of being a man. The nature of being a man is the younger you are, the more you know. When you get my age, you're like, man, dude, I don't really know that much. I know a little bit because I've seen patterns repeat themselves. And I know where this ends. This ends with people in prison. That I can tell you. But a woman was on the Discord saying, here's what she said. I'm trying to find the audio. I haven't released the audio yet. And so I can't find it. Shoot. I get so many DMs I can't keep track. Here's what the audio said in substance. And it was a woman voice, a female voice. You know, I'm tired of going to these rallies because I feel like nothing happens. All we do is talk. that is as close to a direct quote as I could have. Again, it's a woman, a female voice in the Discord chat, and she goes, I'm tired of going to these rallies because I feel like nothing happens. All we do is talk. You don't know that's a Fed? You dumb fucks? You don't know that that's a Fed? And they're going to use women now to infiltrate your organization? So now they're going to have women be like, why aren't you man enough to do this? You know, if you were a real man, you would stand up for your race. If you were a real man, you would stand up for your people. They're going to start using the if you were a real man line on you. That's how the Feds infiltrate you. If you were a real man, you would stand up for your people. They're going to use women to do that. And you know what? They're going to get one of you. Because what they do is, here's another video. This is another Fed. This is another. Here you go. Let me show you another informant. I'm doing journalism right now. I could actually probably get in trouble. So I don't know that this guy's... Okay, so let me be careful because I don't want the Feds to claiming I'm exposing an undercover operation. As a journalist and as a lawyer and as somebody who has done federal criminal offense, I am giving you my opinion on what I'm watching. But I don't actually know this is a Fed, so I'm not outing a Fed or a snitch or anything. But here, I'll show you what the situation will look like. We're going to kill them? We're going to kill them? Yeah, okay. Here's a couple Feds right here. We're going to kill them? Yeah, this is how federal informants behave. I promise you we're going to kill it. I promise you we're going to kill them. I promise you we're going to kill them. So why everybody's filming? And by the way, this film, MIC journalist Jack Smith. So you're being filmed by media, and you have no problem saying we're going to kill him, right? So this wasn't a hidden video. This is all in public. We're not kill him. Promise we're going to fucking kill him. Sorry guys, we're now at the theater of the absurd now. We're now in the theater of the absurd, where all you have to do is open your eyes. All you have to do is open your eyes, and you can tell that's a Fed right there. You can tell that is either an informant or an undercover agent or some kind of snitch trying to incite violence. That right there is yeah, definitely. Here are, told you Feds were there in alt-right. Here are two of them. Told you Feds were in alt-right. Here are two of them openly talking about killing people as cameras roll. So yeah, that there is so obvious. But these dumb kids, man, that's why I'm telling the young men, get out. Get out, young men. Please leave. Please, you can call me a cuck all you want. I don't care. I don't want you to go to prison. This comes from a place of love in my heart. You're going to go to prison. You're going to prison. That is where this ends. I don't want you into prison. Just get out while you can. Get out while you have a shot. All right? Get out, because you now have people openly talking about we're going to kill them. And if you can't tell that that's a Fed, and that's a snitch, and that's an informant, and that's an agent provocateur, you are in a lot of trouble. You are in a lot of trouble, man. That's all I had to say about that. So, yeah, the aftermath we're not even at the full aftermath. We now know that for purposes of the internet, the alt-right will be treated on par with child pornographers and terrorists. That is where the brand of the alt-right is. The brand of the alt-right is with terrorists and pedophiles. And if you doubt that, go look at what happened with Cloudflare and everything else. That is, you don't have to, I'm not saying the alt-right are they as bad as pedophiles or anything. I'm just telling you perception-wise. Perception-wise, the brand of the alt-right is down there with ISIS and pedophiles. And that's just the reality, okay? And if you don't have a brand, you don't have a movement. If you don't have a banner, if you don't have a flag that you can fly, that people feel proud to be around and people feel proud to be under, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But this is only the beginning. You have zero facts that he was an informant. So you're an informant. So right there, you have zero facts that he was an informant. So that right there is another informant who's mad that I'm called. That's probably the same guy in the video. So I have people in here saying, well, he wasn't an informant. Yeah, they're running interference right now. They're freaking out because they're all snitches. And I, just call it out. And anybody with a brain or any kind of experience is going to know that's what an informant looks like. That's what they look like. But anyway, the aftermath isn't over. The aftermath isn't over. People are, thank you for the super heart, people, everybody. Thank you, everybody. The aftermath is people are going to go to prison. Get out. Mike, why did you not buddy up with it? Oh, Bake came up to Politicon. He came up and talked to me. I literally told you I DM'd Baked Alaska on August 11th saying, please get out. This is going to have long-term implications on your life. So if your big scoop is Mike Cernovich was seen talking to Baked Alaska in public at Politicon, yeah, I talked to the kid, right? Talked to a lot of people. So I'm not sure what your agenda there is and what you think you got me on. When I told you I texted the guy August 11th, please get out. Please get out. I don't want you guys in prison. I don't want your lives to be ruined. There's still time for people to get out. But I'm not going to spend all my days and hours, being like triage and trying to rescue people. I'm not running an animal shelter here. So this is, people are going to go to prison. There's no question about it. This is a big disaster for free speech. And if you think I don't know they're coming for me next, then you don't know much about me. Right? Do I know that they're going to come for me next? Because once you eliminate the Daily Stormer, then they're going to come for me. Do you think I don't know this? Right? That's why I always love people like, oh, Cernovich can't tell that if they... Yeah, I wish the Daily Stormer, I wish that hadn't happened. It is bad for everybody's free speech rights that the Daily Stormer has been knocked out for free speech. Oh, this is a slippery slope. Oh, my God. So anybody who doesn't think they're not going to be coming for me, but I'm a little bit better at this than the alt-right people. I'm a little bit savvier. I understand how to handle my business a little bit better than them. I know how to treat it like a pro, and I know what to do when they do come after me. Yeah, and they've been coming after me for 2 years already. That's why they wanted to do the Nazi shit. The reason they were throwing the Nazi stuff at me was a way to try to discredit me. But, yeah, my days are done covering these protests. I'm too easy to assassinate. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to go into the mix like I used to. I definitely will miss that. But going into the mix the way I would just go in, can't be doing that. And those days are gone. Those days are gone. But yeah, I realized that once you get rid of the Daily Stormer, then you're going to start going after anybody who's remotely controversial. And I know that there's a big target on my back, and people are going to go after me more and more and more. But I'm going to plan it. Yeah, they used George Webb to try to frame me. So George Webb, begged me to interview him. I interviewed him. And then the next day, he started attacking me. And then he ended up spreading false information about a lot of different things. So yeah, so what people are doing now are trying to get people to associate with me and then use them as a bludgeon against me. That is definitely so, but I know what is next. And when they come for me, I'm going to do a little bit. I have a better strategy planned, for sure. Why does Lee Stranahan hate me? Because why do you think he is? He's a disinfo agent. Yeah, I don't even talk about Lee. Lee obsesses about me. Lee does a tweet or a Periscope about me every day. I don't even talk about the guy. I forget he's alive until you guys come in and are like, oh, what Lee's saying today. I don't care. I don't care what Lee's saying today. He talks about me every day. I don't have time to keep up with that. I'm too busy. That's the thing people like him don't understand. Is that every day of my life, you know what I think about? I think about pushing forward. That is me every day of my life. I don't think about what's this guy doing. I just think, how can I get the message forward? How can I move forward in life? How can I push forward and keep making progress? That is what I think about every day. That's the only thing I think about. So when other people are trying to pull me back, I'm not going to stop and look at them. I'm way ahead of them, and I just keep moving every day. And I mean, let's just be real here for a minute. You know, I don't want to by giving this loser attention, but we'll go to Social Blade. So the gossiper, he loses followers when he talks about me. So the gossiper is gaining, 195 average followers a day, and I'm gaining 500, right? So that's why he's jealous, and he's been doing this for a lot longer than I have. So it's just ultimately jealousy, and I'm used to it. I'm definitely used to. Yeah. Did you know Lee was friends with Andrew Breitbart? There's so many people like that. They've never actually done anything for themselves, so they have to go, oh, I knew Andrew Breitbart. I knew Andrew. Mike, pride is not hate. Hey, you guys got to deal with that mess yourself. You guys have to deal with that. Do I understand that there are many people who support the Robert E. Lee statue who are not racist and are not white supremacists? Sure I do. But that isn't my fight. That's what people got to realize. That isn't my fight. Especially because I've been called a cock for 9 months. So you don't insult the guy for 9 months, and then when you really need me to use my platforms, say, well, yeah, but there's the principles at stake here. Why don't you take the high road, Mike? We haven't taken the high road, but you should take the high road. That isn't the real world. That isn't reality. Reality is people are going to treat you like they treat them. The reality is not the golden rule. The reality is the bronze rule. The bronze rule is that people will do unto you as you have done unto them. The golden rule is not that people will do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the golden rule. That isn't the real world. In the real world, the way you treat people is how they're going to treat you, if you're lucky. Because I've been good to people who backstab me. So best case is that if you're good to people, they might be good to you. They still might stab you in the back. But if you're bad to people, 100% they're going to be bad to you. So that's what I'm talking about, the difference between utopia and reality. Utopia is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The real world is that if you're lucky, people will do good to you if you do good to them. But the reality is they'll betray you. People are going to treat you like you treat them. So if you want people to treat you well, then you need to treat people alone, or treat people well, or at least just stay out of their lane, as it would have been with me. Do you think we're going to land in a civil war? I mean, we already are in a civil war. Sir, no, seriously, you need to sit by yourself. You act like you're perfect and you're not. When have I acted like I was perfect? Mike Cernovich is right now on the contrition tour. Mike Cernovich is saying that I got to own what I've said and what I've done and move forward on life. I'm not claiming that I'm perfect. No, I'm claiming that a lot of the hate I get, I'm literally saying that a lot of the hate I get is deserved. I'm not here like those alt-right guys crying because of the hate. I'm in here telling you that a lot of the hate I earned, and I have to pay back that karmic debt to rise up above it. So that's what, yeah, I talk about the mistakes. I did a whole Periscope, and I'm explaining, all the mistakes I made and how I can do better. Oh, thank you, Amy. I really appreciate that. Very generous of you. Yeah, so I'm in here just letting people know, know the truth, to know the reality. All right, thanks for watching. Mike Cernovich, GorillaMindset.com. Get out, guys. Get out. It's going to get worse, man. The aftermath, we're not even in the full aftermath. We're only in the warm-up of the aftermath. Get out while you